Hello everybody, I am Angry Bird. Today we have another Steel Division 2 League cast for you guys. This is actually game number 2 of Herr versus Amber T. I did just record game number 1, but unfortunately the footage didn't encode properly, so I've lost that recording. So that was 40 minutes of my life gone. And unfortunately 40 minutes that I'm not going to be able to bring to you, because I don't want to recast the game, because I will not manage to top the cast that I did of it. I will just if I try and cast a game again, I'm just going to get the feeling like I'm not doing as good a job as I did the first time. I've done that before when I've had to kind of re-record videos and I've not told you. I always feel like I do a worse job if the second time around, because I'm almost trying to emulate what I did the first time, and it just comes off much worse and much less natural. So I'm not going to recast that game. But I will tell you that Herr played the 84th Guards, Amber T played the 78th Sturm, and Amber T got the victory in that game. But it wasn't a walk in the park for Amber T. He had to work fairly hard for the victory, and I feel like Herr maybe should have banned that 78th Sturm deck. I don't think it was. It definitely wasn't like the deck alone that won that. Like, no player will win just because they have a certain deck. But yeah, so unfortunately I'd not got that game for you. But today we do have match number 2, Herr versus Amber T. Herr this time choosing the 5th Panzer Viking Division. Amber T picking the 352nd Infantry Division. Herr going Vanguard, Amber T going Balanced. Up here we have Herr's deck. He is on the left hand side in red, and this 5th Viking deck, this I think is potentially the second time we're casting this. I think we cast it the other day, if I'm remembering correctly. Herr, he has the 2 Panther A's in A phase, and then the 9 Panther D's in D phase, relying on the Jagdpanzer 4s, I think, to supplement those heavy tanks, but not an overwhelming number of heavy tanks. I think potentially up against 352nd Infantry, he doesn't need an overwhelming number of heavy tanks, so potentially he could have altered his deck here, maybe taken out some of the numbers of the heavy tanks, knowing that really 352nd Infantry, they don't have a great deal of heavy tank numbers, so that could have been the play. In terms of infantry, the 5th Viking Infantry is pretty decent. Panzergrenz and Panzerfaust and Panzergrenz with the Panzerfaust, they are pretty decent in this patch. The 5 MG42s as well, they can be decent, but no IG support guns. And artillery, he has the SDK, I've said, mortar half track. That could certainly do a great job against the infantry in the early stages. But kind of a nice standard Panzer deck, I think. Let's have a look at Amber T with the 352nd Infantry. Coming all the way across from Normandy. He has the, we were talking about tanks, and he has the Panzer B2s and the Stug 3Gs, so no heavy tanks. The heaviest beast he has is the Jagdpanther in the anti-tank slot, and sorry, that is actually a very heavy tank. It's just because it's in the anti-tank slot. It's a heavy tank destroyer. There we go. So Amber T is going to be reliant on the Marder 3s, the Pak 38, the Pak 43, the Marder 2s in B phase and the Jagdpanthers in B and C phase. So he has 6 Jagdpanthers. Herr had 9 Panther Ds and 2 Panther As. So actually those Jagdpanthers could do a decent job for Amber T if he can keep them alive. The HS-129B3 will be the other major threat to Herr's tanks, obviously, as well as the Marders and the Pak-43s. And actually Amber T probably has enough anti-tank weaponry at his disposal, given that Herr really didn't invest a hell of a lot in those heavy Panthers. I think potentially if Herr uses artillery and takes out those pack guns, that's certainly one anti-tank weaponry down. If he can gain control of the skies, that could be another one down, and then he's just got to contend with the Jagdpanthers in ground-to-ground combat. But Herr does have the Focke-Wulf anti-tank planes at his disposal as well. But really, Amber T, I feel like, is going to control the air in this game with the 6 Flakvillings at his disposal. Nothing can get through 6 of those bad boys. So we have the game running. Herr on the left hand side in red with the 5th Panzer Viking pushing forwards in this central area. Amber T on the right hand side in blue, setting up a defensive line. Pushing forward in the south, but not really a committed, well actually yeah, a fairly committed push. So potentially Amber T looking at the southern area, Herr looking at the central area, and yeah, who's going to make the push? But Herr unloading a Flammenwerfer in the very north and actually capturing that northern flag. The Pak-3850s unload and take fire at the Panzergrens in the Opel Blitz. They do unload in time, and I think they can take down the Stosstruppen on their own, but very weak in the south, Herr is. Amber T could roll over him here with the SBW 204s and the Marder 3. Herr, the roads, not necessarily an immediate reinforcement zone, so actually Amber T could make some decent progress. He could really put some pressure on this rear flag. And Amber T picks up the 13-11 lead. He's bringing in those Marder 3s, and interesting, the IG and the Stosstrup kind of out in the open and pushing northwards. I'm guessing maybe he was bringing those units down south and then realised he was under threat in the north, so he's now pushing them back up north. The IG-18 opening up on the Panzergrens, and actually Herr's not really pushed forwards here, despite he could make some progress against those Stosstrup. The SBW 204 moving forwards in the north, but the Stug 4s this time, not Stug 3s, Stug 4s in that central ground. They're the kings of the centre ground for the moment, at least. Transmission damage on the SPW 204, and that is going to go down, surely. Gun jam on the Marder 3 as well from the Pak-3850 at the back. Down goes the SPW. The MG42 engaging the... wow, a crew kill onto the Stug 4 there from the Pak-3850, and down it goes. Big kill, but the Pak-3850 goes down in reply as well, and in comes the mortar half-track as predicted to help out in the infantry fight. And at the moment, both sides kind of initial skirmishing. The Stug 3G attacking the Panzer B2s, and surely the Panzer B2 will go down here. He is very much undergunned and very much under armoured. There's no way he's going to survive that, and down it does go. A very open map in this rear area, so actually if Herr can push past this centre ground with his Panthers, there's a very open map for him in that centre ground. Amber T's kind of pulled his forces together in that southern pocket, but I'm guessing he's microing this central and northern area right now, which is why we didn't see the attack come through in that southern side. The Stosstroop have won out against the Panzergrenz, so fantastic victory for Amber T. Must have been supporting units, because neither of those Stosstruppen have lost a man. In fact, that is why I'm getting confused, because I was thinking it was these Stosstruppen here. So these Stosstruppen haven't engaged. That's why they're both at 5 men. This more northern group of Stosstruppen, I think Herr Robert can push through here quite easily. He just needs to launch the attack. But yeah, potentially he's concentrating in this more southern area. The mortar targeting the Pak 38s. He wants to take those AT guns down early, and I think that's a good shout. The Pak 38s are doing a fantastic job of wrecking these Stug 4s. Another one bailed out in this central area. But if those Pak guns go down, Amber Team might not have enough to rely on. He's bringing in 3 more Panzer B2s and a Marder 3, and on comes the first Panther onto the field, the Panther A, and also a T-34-85 in the more northern area. The T-34-85 certainly cannot be underestimated, especially against the 352nd Infantry. We've got a Panzer Grenadier retreating, potentially taking fire from elsewhere, possibly the RG-18 on the ridge back there. The Marder 3 going down, and Herr Robert, he needs to launch the attack. One of the Stosstruppen's gone down. If he launches this attack, he will pick up that flag, but potentially just biding his time, microing elsewhere. He has a group of forces, a bit like Amber T in the south. He has a group of forces. He just needs to launch forward the attack before the opportunity evades him. The Pak 38 was put on to hold fire briefly, but that Stug 4 still bailed out. The APCR was turned off, but down goes the Pak 38, and I think it was the Panzergrenz that took that one down with the MG42s. I may have been mistaken, but I think it was them. Here it comes. Here's the attack in the centre. The Stug 4 being attacked by another Pak 3850. A hell of a lot of those Pak 3850s being brought out very early on by Amber T, but I think slowly Herr Robert is starting to whittle them down. The Panzergrenz take out one group of Stosstrup. There's one left, but they will secure that flag. Certainly the RG-18s coming in, potentially to reinforce, but I think it's a little bit too late for Amber T. And a Pak 4381. Oh, that one goes down in the transports. 100 points lost there in the transport before it could unload. A major loss. The Marder 3 going down to the Panzer T-34-85, and the Pak 3850 will be able to fire onto the Panzer T-34-85, but really it needs the APCR shells to penetrate. And actually kind of surprised it's not firing right now onto that Panzer. It's holding fire, but the icon isn't there. That's a very strange one. Never seen that happen before. Don't understand why that unit is not firing right now, unless it has the holding fire order, but the icon's not showing. Really strange. I mean, it's still in line of sight. A very strange one, that one. Okay, as we leave that behind, the IG-18 attacking the Panzergrenz in the open. Herr Robert has the 15-9, the ME-109, G2R1 coming in there with the bombs onto the Stug 4, or the 1. 250 kilogram bomb. It's still a pretty decent sized bomb, and yeah, does heavily stress out the Stug 4, but does not get a killing blow. The Marder 3 will get, did have a nice side shot there, but the Stug 4, well, the Marder 3 missed the shot. The Stug 4 then gets the loader wounded, but the Marder 3 transmission destroyed. That won't be too much of a problem. It's already in an ambushing spot. But that Marder 3 actually out of HE shells. And still that Pak 3850 not firing. Strange one. The SPW 204 engaging with the 47mm HE shells into the Panzergrens up north. The second mortar half-track coming in, and I'm not sure whether that was aiming for the oh, it's now switched target onto the SPW. Two Erzatz trooping coming in from Amber T, and I feel like actually Herr Robert has established a pretty decent force in the early part of this game. But remember, he is on the Vanguard income, and Amber T on the balanced income. So Herr Robert definitely using that income advantage early on to put himself a sizable force out onto the battlefield. He currently has the 59, and if he could find a way to maybe push some troops into this light forest and maybe push something down south, he could actually surround Amber T's forces in this central area. The Grenführer, I feel like, are holding this front line, or this pocket, open at the moment. It looks like the Pak 3815 maybe destroyed something on the way in, and Herr Robert retreated the Panzer T34, but that Pak 3850 is now ready, it's saying. So I'm imagining that thing is back up and running and firing. Once again, the Panzer B2 transmission damaged, and there's too many Stugs and too many Panzers, and those B2s, I mean, really, they're an anti-infantry tank, and maybe they can take out light infantry. I mean, there are what, a World War One, late World War One tank. So I think I'm right in that. Yeah, you drop it in the comments if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that's a late World War One tank. But the Jagdpanzer, now there's a tank, or there's a tank destroyer. The 88mm KWK 43 L/71 gun with 230mm of penetration will make short work of any of the Axis tanks. Does have 140mm of frontal armor, so will even be able to stand up to everything bar the Panther, which I cannot see on the field right now. So I think the Panther's gone down. There is one in the very northern side. Potentially, actually, it was this northern area that Panther came in. I can't quite remember at this point. The ME-109 came in, released its payload, is still circling at this point. But yeah, the Jagdpanther, sorry, that will be able to more easily control this open ground. But like I said, once Herr Robert pushed back past this sort of centre line, it's actually very open now, and he can fire on any of the reinforcements coming in. The Jagdpanther is now discovered, and Herr Robert, rightly so, retreating his tanks right behind the buildings. He doesn't want to fight this Jagdpanther at range. Certainly with the T-34-85s, he may be able to engage it more easily with some other tanks, but the LEFH-18M coming in, and potentially could look to target their Jagdpanther with some heavy artillery. That could certainly do the job for him. Another mortar half-track coming into the southern area, and the infantry is gonna, wow, there is barely any supporting vehicles and supporting units left on this southern side, and the mortar half-track is going to take down anything that stands in its way. Will the Pak 3850? It is holding fire once again. That has to be a missing icon on that unit, surely. Surely, either that, or he believes the Panzer T-34 is maybe a... Well, I guess this is Axis versus Axis. Maybe it's some kind of... Oh, I don't know why that unit is holding fire. It must be a missing icon. Maybe he's got it on efficient shot or hold fire and the icon for some reason isn't showing on that unit. Who knows? The Panther A in the northern side is going to face off potentially against the Jagdpanther coming in the northern side. That could be a decent face off. The Jagdpanther has the advantage, but the Panther A can certainly penetrate. That is a certainty. The LEFH coming very far forward into this town to take advantage of the shortened range and therefore the better accuracy that will provide here, Robert. He has the Pak 3850 in the rear, and I think that's going to take shots now. Yes, at the Jagdpanther, as well as the Panther A, so potentially 2 versus 1 here. The Panther A being reversed back by Herr Robert. The HS-129 coming into the centre could pick up a few kills here. Does take down a T-34-85. The Panther and the Pak 38 is forcing back the Jagdpanther for now. Although the infantry and smoke being dropped by Herr Robert, protecting that Panther, kind of trying to find the right moment to engage. And Amber T at the moment, it all rests on the 2 Jagdpanthers and the HS-129, I feel. If he gets good value out of those units, he can certainly make his way back into this game, but he's 14-10 down, and I feel like he is down at the moment. So I'm interested in this Pak 38 in the southern side. It is now aligning, aiming and firing on the infantry. It just does not like attacking that Panzer T-34, it seems. The SDKF said mortar half-track firing in on that Grenadier unit. Although it has now moved forwards. The bombs coming in from the ME-109 there, and a HS-129 making a gun run in onto the Jagdpanzer. Will get the side shots as well and does go down after just 2 shots. 7 more rounds remaining in that 75mm AP anti-tank gun on the HS-129B3, and is retargeting the mortar half-track. The Jagdpanther engaging the M42 and MG42, and the Pak gun in that area has gone down. Here Robert bringing in a second Pak 40 into the same position, and the Pak 40 will have a better chance at penetrating. The HS-129, I think that was going in for another gun run, potentially on these Stug 4s. Yes, does pick off one of the Stug 4s, and actually Amber T is starting to pick off some of these tanks. In comes the Focke-Wulf 190D9, the beautiful long nose. And let's see whether we can get a picture of that. There it is. Beautiful, beautiful unit. I absolutely love this unit. So fantastic. But you don't get many of them. You only get one. And wow, Amber T chasing that down. Surely, yes, another Ju-88 G1 supplement to the Focke-Wulf 190D9 comes in, and that will get back on the back, and down will that ME-109 go. That was a mistake by Amber T. Should definitely not have chased down that Focke-Wulf. And down goes the Jagdpanther to the Pak 3815, moving through the light forest. 500 meters, will not miss at that range, but 3 Marder 2s unload all their HE shells on it, and I feel like the Pak 38 has done its job, and it will go down now to those Marders. Does actually take 2 of them down as well, so what a result for that Pak 38. It does go down now. Here Robert being surrounded with those Grenadiers, and potentially the advance coming in from Amber T. We are almost coming up to C phase, so Amber T has probably almost recovered the income, sort of recovered from the income advantage that Herr Robert had. He's bringing a lot more forces here, and I feel like Amber T has potentially just stabilised this game. However, in the southern side, very few units right now. The Pak 38 is finally engaging the T-34, but it does go down. Potentially to the Panzer Grenadiers at short range with the MG42s. Grenadiers being rushed in, but look, the flag Switching over to Herr Robert, I think that was originally in Amber T's. Marder 2's coming in as well, but Herr Robert's going to know there's not a hell of a lot in here, and he can push forward and attack this southern side, potentially pick up another 2 flags here if he really commits to this, to an attack in the southern area. And really, in the north, if this Jagdpanther goes down, there's not else that stands in his way. Amber T, I thought he was back in this, but I've changed my mind once again. The Flakvilling being mortared, beautiful use of these mortars to take down that, or certainly stress it for the moment, the Flakvilling. But if this Jagdpanther goes down in the north, I think Herr Robert's got this northern side. Amber T, he needs some more Jagdpanthers. I think he's used his B phase ones. He has to bring in those C phase Jagdpanthers, and he has to get value out of them, because otherwise I feel like Herr Robert's going to win this game. The Pack 40 engaging. Oh, but the Jagdpanther does take down the Panther A. So nice little kill there. The Pack 40 still engaging. Amber T moving it just out of line of sight now. And the Jagdpanther, well, the Pack 40 is moving forwards again, and potentially actually restricted by the forest. Does get another shot off and another bounce. Wow, I'm surprised he got that final shot off. The Jagdpanther now falling back, potentially will show side armor here. It's back to frontal armor, although it's zigzagging. It is zigzagging as it retreats. This Pack 40, I mean, it could get a side shot. The Stoss troop move into the northern forest. Do pick up another flag for Amber T. He has the 13-11 now, so he has got back into the game. In terms of flags, it's back to a 12-12. The Jagdpanther, it's just got out, has it? I think the Pack 40 is going to engage once more. The Jagdpanther possibly showing side armor here as the weight moves down. Engine destroyed. Wow, I feel like this Jagdpanther is going to go down. Load of wounded. It's just a matter of time before that Jagdpanther goes down now. There it goes. The Pack 40 getting the side shot. As Amber T, it came off the recovery and went to move back into its previous position. Opened up the side angle. The shot into the side from that Pack 40, and the Jagdpanther goes down. A massive kill in this northern side for Herr Robert. Amber T bringing in the HS-129 once again. Herr Robert reversing the Stug 4, trying to get it out the way, but it is heading straight for it. No, retreating. It must have lost line of sight of that Stug 4. The reverse from Herr Robert took it out of line of sight. So nice little recovery there from Herr Robert with that Stug 4. The Panzer Grenadier comes into the northern area, just holds that flag. I feel like if Amber T maybe moves his Stoss troop into the edge of the forest, he might pick that flag up. Herr Robert has the 13-11, moving more infantry in, and I feel he has the numbers. Yeah, he has the numbers to take out the Pioneers there, pick up another flag. And Amber T, he's still looking weak. He's still in the game. He has a chance, but certainly looking weak right now. 10 minutes left on the clock. The SFH 18 150mm on the field from Amber T, targeting the mortar half track, so potentially on Cowan's battery, potentially being microed himself, and it looks like the HS-129 coming in for the other one. So that would be a nice sort of double kill if Herr Robert managed to get these 2 kills. Oh, the HS-129 coming up, turning away again. Obviously the Ju-88 and that Focke-Wulf 190 scared the Amber T away, and it goes down to a burst of fire from the Ju-88 G1. If that thing gets on the back and gets a burst of cannon off, it is deadly. It just needs the opportunity. It is a a very bad agility plane. Let's have a look at the stats. Yeah, it's bad agility, but with the 4 ventral MG 151 20mm cannons, as well as the 30mm turret cannon, it can certainly take down aircraft very easily. It just needs the opportunity to get on the back of them. So, look at the number of infantry units coming into this southern side. Amber T launching an attack here, and he needs to make some progress. He's 13-11 down. He's got 8 minutes left on the clock. The Pioneer goes down to the MG42 fire. The mortars reversing from Herr Robert, and the FH-18 forcing them back for now. Amber T still maintaining control of this southern side. Herr Robert's not focusing there, focusing more heavily in the centre area. Another Jagdpanther being ordered in by Amber T. Like I said before, he is still in this game. He picks up a flag in this central ground, back to a 12-12, but this Jagdpanther has to do a good job at taking out the heavy tanks. The Pioneers moving into nice positions, and as long as the artillery keeps Herr Robert's mortars at bay, Amber T potentially, yeah, he's not out of this yet. The Stuck 4 Fuhrers just moving forwards, providing supporting fire right now, and that's kind of what Amber T has to watch out for. Any supporting fire coming in on his infantry, because he has the infantry reserves in the 352nd Infantry Division. It's just whether the supporting units from Herr Robert will beat back those infantry units for Amber T. And look at the territory he's gained there. That will let him know that Herr Robert was pretty weak in the central area. His forces all pocketed around this town right now. But yeah, there's a Panther D in the south. Both the Panther A's, I believe, have gone down, and a couple of Jagdpanzers, one Jagdpanzer in here. You know, not an absolute great deal of heavy tanks. And the SDKFZ 251/2 mortar half track. I'm sure that's the mortar half track. Yes, it is. They got caught very far forward by the Marder 2s. Loader killed. And crew killed, well, crew killed, but somehow it's still alive right now. And, yeah, strange that that's still alive. Down it goes at last. That took a long time to take out just a simple half-track unit. The Panther D's engaging the Pioneers at range, and the LEFH, sorry, I keep calling it the LEFH, the SFH, coming in with the artillery fire into the MG and the Pat gun in the southern side. The Marder 2 pushing forwards, kind of almost as a normal tank rather than a tank destroyer. But Herr Robert bringing the supply truck to resupply the mortars. Potentially Herr Robert's missed his opportunity in this southern side, and Amber T's able to recover. It feels like this is swinging, well, I wouldn't say it's swinging back to Amber T, but I would certainly say that he has restabilised from his position. I think he was looking weak at one point. The Jagdpanzer has made it down, and it's getting rather close to this town. I'd have liked to have seen it used at longer range, but I mean, in the central area, Herr Robert's kind of retreated his forces back into the town. He's protecting this flag, and the Jagdpanther taking on a Panzer IV, and the Panzer IV will not win that, rightly retreating around the side of the building. The Stug 4s getting the early or the quick fire kill on the Marder, and potentially moving forward to pick up, well, the second one does go down. Not sure exactly, maybe, I think it was the Panzer IV that got that kill. The southern side, there's two MG42s in a nice position, but the Panther D comes down. However, two Jagdpanthers coming into this southern side, and Amber T possibly with a very big resurgence in this late game. 28 minutes in now, and he has the 13-11 victory tick. Will he get the victory over Herr Robert? The balanced income coming into his favour, and has Herr Robert lost his opportunity? I feel like he could have made a bit more ground in this southern side, but Amber T definitely has a lot more forces in here now. The Panther D... Oof. Just in line of sight, but gets the gun jam on the Jagdpanther. And what a gun jam that is. Amber T needs to... Oh, and down it goes. Oof, that was a big kill from Herr Robert. Potentially, if he can knock out these Jagdpanthers, I feel like, you know, Herr Robert may have this game. But Amber T coming back strong. Picks up another flag in the centre with a Grenadier attack. But the Panzer IV there, at the moment, will surely will just sit there and hold off. There's a hell of a lot of Grenadiers there. And maybe Amber T will win out with that. The Jagdpanther not really getting into play there. I'd like it to move slightly southwards to get fire onto that Panzer IV, but in comes the HS-129 instead. And if that Panzer IV goes down, there's nothing else there. The engine damage, down it goes. The Grenadiers will push forwards, and the mortars coming in potentially just in time to hold a hell of a lot of them off. The HS-129 with the fuel leaking, but the Ju-88 kind of missed its attack run. The other one will get on the rear of it. That HS-129 will go down as soon as this one gets its machine guns off. But the Focke-Wulf coming in as well. Down it goes. It only takes a few seconds for those Ju-88s to get the kill, and one of them on their own, potentially not enough agility to take on the fighters, but certainly against things like bombers and attack planes, ground attack planes. Those Ju-88s are fantastic planes. I'm really impressed by them. The Marder 2 pushing forwards into the forest, potentially could get some ambushing shots off. And Amber T's kind of retaken this southern flag. He has the 14-10 lead. The Ersatz-Truppen pushing forwards. No infantry in this southern area for Herr Robert. He's a bit late to reinforce with the Panzergrens. Amber T picks up that second flag, and he's up to a 15-9 now. 12 minutes left on the clock for Herr Robert to stabilise this game. And Amber T is looking... He has the momentum. He certainly has the momentum right now. But... very surprising. I thought at one point he was almost out of this game. The Panzergrens I think will go down as well with the supporting SBW 204s and the 3 Grenadier units. The Stoßtruppe finally moving forwards in that northern area, and surely they'll pick up the flag. That is teetering, and there it goes. There it goes, a late movement, but Amber T picks up that flag. He picks up the second northern flag. He's up to a 17-7 right now. Herr Robert is collapsing, absolutely collapsing. The Jagdpanther in the central area, firing and destroying the Jagdpanzer in the north. And look at this northern area. Herr Robert down to 3 Panzer Grenadier units. Once they're discovered, I feel like they're going to go down. These SBWs moving forwards dangerously. Oh, actually re-microed into the light forest. So nice little position for them there. It's just a matter of time until the Grenadiers kind of make their way up. The 352nd Infantry is well known for its slow build up of an attack. The Bayo Kubel 380mm off map could come in, and if this is targeted on this area, wow, that could do some massive damage. But I also feel like Amber Team may also target this mortar back here, and that could also pick up some damage. But is that coming under fire? Oh my days! It goes down at range to the Panzer Grenadier. Did it get chance? Did it have chance to get its off-map off? We don't know. I think this is on an old patch, so I don't think we're going to see the off-map being placed down. We'll only see it once the shells come down. The munitions, the Opel Bitch munitions goes down to the SFH. Potentially the mortar might go down as well, and Herr Robert's units are getting picked off. The attack finally sort of making its way forwards on the north, reinforcing grenadiers in the north and the centre area. Amber T, he's back to a 14-10. Herr Robert's pulled back a couple of flags, but Amber T definitely has a hell of a lot of momentum. The off map did come down, and it did come down on the danger area, and look at this damage. Down goes the Stug, down goes the commanding units, everything pinned down. The Panzer IV falling back. Wow, if only Amber T could have kept that 380mm off map in position. And will the troops come in time? He doesn't have infantry. I wish these 3 Panzergren units would have been coming into here, because they would easily have taken out those units. The Jagdpanther was smoked off there, I think, by Herr Robert's mortars. The Stug 3G just engaging whatever it can see on the front lines. Amber T pushing forwards in this northern section, picks up another flag, back to a 15-9. These grenadiers could push forwards and secure this flag. Although they do unload early, the Panzergren goes down. Herr Robert's lost this northern area, and look at the units in the north for him. There's barely anything left. Amber T has certainly traded extremely well in this latter part of the game, and he's just launching grenadier after grenadier attack. These grenadiers, 20 points apiece, and I mean, really, I wouldn't say. I mean, they have the MG34 there with the 10% accuracy at 750 meters. I wouldn't say like they're like an amazing infantry unit, but certainly at 20 points apiece, any infantry unit at 20 points is actually pretty decent. You just want some cheap units. Amber T bringing in the grenadiers. They're still in the vehicles. I wish there was another off map to come down and then launch them in, but I guess he's maybe thinking about how he's going to use those. The southern side, I think Herr Roberts reinforced the southern area and potentially could make some gains in this southern side to kind of pull back the flank, but I feel like we're 35 minutes in, we're well into C phase. Herr Robert may be starting to run out just a little bit of his forces. The Panzergren's pushed forwards, and oof, down goes a unit in the truck, and I feel like Amber T not quite using the Jagdpanther effectively. I'd like to see it actually more on this northern side, but that's he's certainly using a lot of his other infantry effectively. The artillery firing all the way down onto this southern side, and almost taking out his own units there. The mortar half-track coming in, but the grenadiers have advanced forwards under mortar fire. The Stug launching an attack as well, but I don't think this one's going to succeed actually in this southern area. I think actually this could be where Herr Robert maybe makes some ground back. I feel like, wow, there's just no there's no infantry here actually, but Herr Robert could just actually just go around all of these units. He has the Panzergrens on the very southern side. If he can just get rid of this Stug 3G, I feel like the infantry aren't as massive a threat as they could be. The leader does go down, and oh, that's a big artillery strike. The JU's coming in with the strafing runs. Oh, for another big artillery strike coming in onto the pack gun. And the T-34 against the Stug now. This is going to be a big engagement. The T-34 doesn't get first shot. The Stug gets first shot, gets the sight damage. The T-34 replies with a bailout. And that could have saved Herr Robert in the southern side. And he has the Panzergrens a bit further back, and if they get pushed forward, currently Amber T's units are pinned down. And look at the movement up north from this Panzergren. Exceptional unit is going to surround them, and Amber T, rightly so, ordering in reserves, because this northern area is being taken back by Herr Robert. Potentially may make his way back into this game. 15-9 down though, having lost the northern area. We're just concentrating on this southern attack. The Grenführer retreating, but the Panzergren also retreating. They've lost the flag here. Robert wanting to commit resources back down to kind of hold that flag, and is that going to give Amber T chance to retreat and kind of hold on to these infantry units? The T-34 isn't pushing forwards, and I think Amber T is very lucky here. He's going to hold on to these infantry units, and actually they could still do some decent damage. The Panzergren being fired on at range from the MG42s and the Stug 3Gs. This little tree line here has been magnificent for Amber T throughout the game. The Stug 4 versus the Stug 3. The Stug 4 certainly looks on top right now. Will it get the victory? Yes, it does. It gets the kill. And another Stug 3. Well, no, Amber T feeling not to engage there. There's the commandant down there, and these grenadiers are back into place with the Grenführer. And I'm going to mention this because this was a heavy part of my coverage of the first game, which unfortunately we're not going to see. But Amber T, look at the way he's setting up his command structure. He has the commandant, he has the Grenführer buffing up his grenadiers, he has the Grenführer here buffing the Stug 3G, potentially any other units he put in here. The Grenführer here was buffing the infantry that was in place, and Amber T, he's in the first game it was much more apparent, but he's been using his command structure to really buff his infantry to 2 stars and 3 stars at times in the previous game, and that really helped him, or it's really helping him win out in this drawn out infantry battle that often a balanced income can provide. And wow, he's nearly capturing this rear flag, but yeah, Amber T got the 16-8 now, and just under 5 minutes left on the clock. The Focke-Wulf, oh, potentially, I think it's just fast. It is, I think, the fastest plane in the game right now. 670 kilometers per hour. The ME-109 strafing, pursuing, but the JUs are circling. They're not engaging. The Focke-Wulf isn't engaging, is now engaging. The JUs are now engaging, and potentially late. I think the Focke-Wulf is going to get on the back of this first ME-109, potentially just going to overshoot, and he's going to have to come around for a second attempt. The JUs, I think they're just going to be out of range, and I don't think they're going to be able to catch up, but the Focke-Wulf may well be able to. But the MEs now coming over the Flakvelling. I think actually they're going to escape this time. I feel like the Flakvelling and this one in the south, yeah, the Focke-Wulf might go down now. Pilot panic. The Ju-88s pursuing, no, Robert calling them off. That JU I think will survive, and Amber T re-engaging now with the ME-109s, potentially him, he is now on the chase. But wow, down goes the Ju-88 to the Flakvelling. We've been discussing it on the Steel Division official forums, and certainly Flakvellings I consider to be potentially a tad too strong at the moment. I'd like to see a slight nerf to these Flakvellings. Not, you know, not too much, but certainly, look, we have 2 Flakvellings that Amber T's got out, and they're pretty much controlling his entire, anything apart from this very northern area is just getting shut down by these 2 Flakvellings. So I feel like, just even though they are expensive at 100 points apiece, planes are expensive as well, and the way that just one Flakvelling in this area can shut down an entire southern area and all the air attacks that might come in, to me it feels a bit too powerful right now. Maybe 2 in this area, yeah, fair enough. 2 here, 2 there, fair enough. But you know, just 1 unit down here controlling this southern side and 1 unit here controlling this central area, I feel like potentially a bit too strong right now. I think a lot of the other anti-air pieces are pretty fairly balanced right now. I think the Flak-Verling is a bit too powerful. And of course the SDKFZ 7/1, because that is just a Flak-Verling on a half track. The Stoss Troop going to take out the Panzergrenz just in time, but finding themselves kind of on their own. The Jagdpanther coming down the mountain, and that'll engage the Panzer IV, and that Panzer IV will not last long. Wow, the one at the rear gets taken out, and probably by the actually, was that a fantastic little kill there by the SBW 204F? That could have been a decent kill, and actually Amber T got that into the forest and hidden, and it's come out and it's attacking the Panzergrenz from the rear. The Grenadiers pushing forwards, and yeah, they are having to unload so they don't get lost in the transports against these Panzergrenz, but Amber T potentially trying to push this one forwards. And if this Panzergrenz gets pinned down, he may make it all the way into this town here. I feel like he might unload to get the surrender. No, he picks up the surrender in the truck. Wow, I didn't realise that. I thought they had to be unloaded, but no. So, look at this push in the northern area, and actually unloads very early. I think now he sees this territory, he'll be like, oh, I could have actually pushed right forwards. But here Robert has barely got any units left. There's 30 seconds on the clock. Amber T is going to pick up the victory, and this was a well fought victory. A bit like the first game as well. The first game, Amber T was on top from the start. It was not a guaranteed victory. He had to work hard to get it, but he was on top from the start and kind of maintained his lead all the way through. But this game, Herr Robert, he was on top early on, but look at the number of Grenadiers that Amber T currently is unleashing on this front. But yeah, this game, Herr Robert was on top. Amber T had to work very hard to pull back the game and does get the victory. I feel like there was a point where he was very weak, and I think certainly if Herr Robert had have pushed forward a little bit more aggressively in that southern side, maybe he would have broken the 352nd Infantry, but it wasn't to be. Amber T picks up the victory, 44 minutes 57 seconds. Let's have a look at the team stats, and actually fairly even. Herr Robert just losing out kills to deaths, but actually fairly even, and surprising actually. So if the kills and deaths were fairly even, but Amber T kind of won out in the end with the map control, potentially, you know, I think Amber T's Grenadiers being only 20 points apiece, and the fact that he could throw so many of them out there, potentially just edged him to victory. Let's have a look at the kills for Amber T first of all. The Pak 38s, there was a lot of those out early on, and I'm kind of surprised Amber T brought so many of them very early into the game. But they certainly, you know, this top one taking out a Stug 4, the second one here taking out the T-34-85, the Pak 43 taking out the Panther A, beautiful kill. The IG-18 taking out a Stug 4. I mean, an IG-18 picking up a Stug 4 kill is very impressive. The Panzer B2. I said this was an infantry killing tank, and it is. It takes out 3 Panzer Grenadiers, and it also took out an LE FH-18M 105mm. So Herr Robert brought that I cannot remember that unit, but in the first game he did have a habit of bringing his artillery pieces quite far forwards to the front, and this one goes down to the Panzer B2. Yeah, beautiful play. Amber T with the HS-129B3 takes out the Panzer T-34 and the Jagdpanzer. The Jagdpanther here taking out the Panther A, and actually looking at these trades, Amber T did fairly well. The Jagdpanther here taking out the Stug 4 and the Panzer T-34, probably not quite paid itself off, but maybe just enough. The Marder 2 picking up the Jagdpanzer kill. That's a nice kill. And this Jagdpanther picking up... Oof, this is a nice kill list. The Stug 4, 2 Jagdpanzer 4s and a Panther D. Very nice kill list for that Jagdpanther. And another one here as well. I think these Jagdpanthers picked up the kills. We said it. We called it. About halfway through this game, I called it. I said that Herr Robert was on top right now, and I said that Amber T needed to trade incredibly well with those Jagdpanthers, and he has done. He has traded incredibly well with the Jagdpanthers, and I think maybe that's what pushed him through to victory. Those are later Jagdpanthers that came through. Maybe that just did it for him. So, and then at the end, kind of just the mass of Grenadiers, you know, not picking up major kills, but each one of them picking up a Panzer Grenadier. And these Grenadiers, they cost 20 points. These Panzer Grenadiers, I'm going to hazard a guess that they're 30 points apiece. I'm not 100% sure, but they are definitely more costly. So every Panzer Grenadier that the Grenadier kills is an efficiency gain for Amber T. Let's have a look at the kills for Herr Robert, and these Stug 4 kills early on kind of show how Herr Robert really took command of the game in the early stages, and if it wasn't for those Jagdpanthers, Amber T just didn't have the units to stand up against the armour. So the Jagdpanther kills really saving Amber T, I feel. This MG42 did great work taking out the Pak 38 and the infantry. The Panther A only picking up 2 Panzer B2 kills. You'd feel like you'd want that unit to do more of a job. Same with the Jagdpanzer 4, only picking up 2 SPW kills. You feel like that would want to do more of a job, but these Ju-88 G1s, they did a great job shooting down 1 Me-109 and 1 HS-129. I previously have not taken these in the 5th Viking deck, but actually I'm going to put these in here. Those Ju-88s have done a great job, and yeah, I'm going to take another look at that. The Pak 3850 picking up that early Jagdpanther kill, and the Pak 40 that picked up the side shot on the Jagdpanther. So those first 2 Jagdpanthers went down, but the Jagdpanthers after those certainly did a great job. This Panther D did pick up one of the Jagdpanthers, certainly doing its job there, and the Stug 4s, they did a great job for Herr Robert as well. I think he lost out in the infantry game, really. Just the cost of the Panzer Grenadiers versus the Grenadiers. I mean, really, the Panzer Grenadiers got to take out 2 Grenadiers just because of the cost difference. But obviously, he did lose out a lot of the units to the Jagdpanzers as well. So there we have it. That was Amber T versus Herr Robert. And hopefully you've enjoyed this game. If you have, drop me a like. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. The reason I say this, it helps if YouTube see that lots of people like the videos, then they push it forward to other people that might be interested. So I say this not because it helps me in any way, but I want these casts to get out to more people, for more people to see them. More so that people see Steel Division 2 being played at its very best, and hopefully it brings players back to the game, because a lot of people bought this game, and hopefully I think at the moment Eugen made some changes, and more people are playing now than a few months ago, and hopefully they can sustain this and maybe get a little bit more growth back, maybe with a new DLC coming out in the future. I think that's probably early next year. But yeah, it's always good for more people to see the game at its very best. Also, just check out the links in the description. Come join me in the Discord, chat to me there. I spend quite a lot of time just chatting to the guys in the Discord, and we talk about the games and other games as well. Also, check out the Twitch page. Now, there was a game that I casted exclusively on Twitch. It won't be coming to YouTube because I couldn't. It'll be a lower quality video, which is why it's not coming on YouTube. But there's a link to my page in the description. There is a video up of that game. It was Ortfine Frederica versus Gardenia in Group 2 of Steel Division League. It's not my intention in the future to kind of not have these casts on YouTube, but I wanted to do a cast for Monday Night Cast on my Twitch stream, and that's the game that we ended up with. In future, I plan to do more community type games, not really the competitive Steel Division League style games. But anyway, go to the Twitch page. You can actually watch that video now. I'm not going to put it on YouTube, but it is available to watch, although it will go down in about 10 days or so. So you need to get there and watch it early if you want to see that game. Right, thanks very much for watching. I am Angry Bird. I will see you next time.